March 11th, Wednesday, and I'm going to be having to speak a little bit louder than normal because there's a lot of idle noise going on in the car right now. We got the rain in the background, we got the hum of the engine, we just got the sound of the actual cabin itself. I also have the heater going on because it is a brisk 43 degrees right now. And actually on the thermometer on that church right there, it says 39 degrees and it is dumping rain. I am wearing short shorts. I am cold. I'm wearing a t-shirt underneath this as well. I am freezing. But I feel alive. I feel alive. You know, eventually I'll be getting over this little hump of my life where I'll look back at this a year, 2, 3, 4, a decade later, and I'll look back at this day and go, huh, I'm doing better now. And by the off chance that, you know, maybe if I'm not doing better, it's kind of a sad thought though, thinking, oh, like, you know, that long later and I'm not doing better. But I like to think that I'll be taking the executive steps and effort to actually make it be better though. Even right now, like, is necessarily anything that bad? No. Could I be a little bit, could I have a little bit less fat? Yes. Could I be a little bit more lean and toned? Yes. Could I also have a little bit more muscle? Yes. Could I also be happier? Yes. Could I also be getting over the soul-crushing weight of being used by somebody for 2 years and then just tossed aside the moment I needed something on my end from them? Yes. Will it get better? Yes. Or at least that's what I'm hoping for, right? And I'm going to live the life of, maybe I have unrealistic expectations. Maybe I live with complete grandeur and fairy tale-esque life and live in just complete blissful ignorance. But, you know, it's nice to stay hopeful, right? It's nice to stay hopeful. Could I think about the idea that I could be maybe 150? Actually, I don't really know what weight I really want to be at now at this point, because I'm always conflicted. I enjoy eating. I definitely do not enjoy dieting. I like working out, I like lifting, and I like PRing because it makes my brain go, woo! So, what is going to be the nice balance where I'm still going to be happy and have a nice relationship with food, but also still be happy enough in my own body that I don't feel ashamed just taking off my shirt? Because I still am at the boat where if I take off my shirt, you know, specifically, you know, whenever I see myself before I go into the shower in the bathroom mirror, I go, dang, I don't really like the way that I look. Is it better than before? Of course it is. But do I still not really like the way that I look? Yeah. And I don't know if that's just going to be a mixture of learning to accept my body for what it is, or just putting in more hours in the gym, putting in down more protein, and also cutting down on the calories as well, that's definitely the hard part for me, because, man, those things that are high in calories sure taste delicious. And the thing too is, it's not even necessarily like I'm eating unhealthy. I'm eating pretty healthy if I'm being honest, because again, I haven't really eaten that much fast food recently. I've been definitely cutting down on that. But even just the idea that, you know, when you cook things, you need a little bit of fat in them to even have, you know, a pretty enjoyable experience. Because you ever try cooking eggs with no fat, no oil? Not a fun experience. Not a fun experience, and also not a delicious experience. Because, man, I remember one time I was making I don't really know what to call them, but like you basically mix up an egg and you make like a sheet of egg. And I tried doing it with no oil one time, and it came out all right. It's edible still, right? But just having a bit of, even just the tiniest bit of oil in the pan, ooh, delicious. It like changes the texture. It makes the outer layer a lot more caramelized and brown, so it just tastes a little bit more nutty and roasty. Oh man. But I've also been really liking boiled eggs recently. I've been making 6-minute, 30-second soft-boiled eggs and just keeping them in the fridge, and whenever I want a little snack or if I just want to have some over rice. And that's been pretty nice with that as well. Today we'll be venturing out to be doing a leg day, and I'm kind of excited, but I'm also a little bit worried, but not worried in the way of like, you know, I'm going, oh, I'm so scared, but it's the idea of like, that little bit of anxiety that you feel before you're just like, oh man, like I really want to PR on, for example, I really want to PR on pendulum squat today. But obviously any squat movement, specifically when you're pushing yourself really hard, is really damn difficult, man. It is hard. It's kind of scary because I'm also thinking like, oh, you know, what if I fail a rep? I don't have a spotter on the pendulum squat. And I think maybe this is a little bit reckless But on the pendulum squat, there's no safety. I have it on the lowest possible setting as well, so I can get that as low as possible. My range of motion that I'm trying to go from the pendulum squat right now is hamstring to calf. I want to be all the way down there and then shoot back up. I don't know if that's safe. I don't know if that's honestly optimal. There's a crazy driver to the rear of me. Jesus. Alaska driver? Oh, this guy's a far away from home. Maybe it's the outdoor boys. What's that outdoor boy's name again? It's like that old Mormon, or not an old man. He's just a man. He's a Mormon man, and he goes camping with his kids. And I used to love watching his videos. Is it Luke? Lucas? No. Hey, Luke here with the outdoor boys. Maybe it is Luke. Maybe I have that completely wrong as well, but I know I'm currently right now, I'm definitely not built for the outdoors, but I do like the outdoors though. Like if I have a decent amount of gear, and the reason I even say gear right now, because it is dumping rain right now, but there's something about me that sounds like a hike in the rain. If I'm wearing clothes that I don't mind getting dirty and also easy to wash and is waterproof, a hike in the rain actually sounds really fun. And I feel like it kind of satisfies that itch of like, you know, feeling like an outdoorsman, but also doing it in a way where I don't really have to go like all out and, you know, shit in the woods. But yeah, I want to make sure that I have a healthy and active body so that I can pursue the hobbies and pastimes that I would enjoy doing. Whether that be going on a hike in the middle of the woods, but also having it be safe enough where I don't die or end up lost somewhere and getting mauled by a bear. That sounds quite nice. If that also means going on a trip with my friends to say like a very walkable city like Japan, that also sounds pleasant as well. Because there's another thing where I went to Japan in 2020 where I was probably not at my heaviest, but close to my heaviest and also most unhealthy or unfit at that time, right? And I kind of want to revisit places where I was a bit too tired after a certain part of the trip just because of all the walking that entailed, and go back when I'm more fit, more active, and just explore more and just, again, just have more energy throughout the trip instead of just being exhausted because I walked more than I'm used to. How many steps am I at today? I can't tell because I have to swipe over and I'm driving, so I can't look right now. I'm merging. Okay, there we go. But today we'll be hitting what I hope to be a diabolical leg day. Also, gas is getting kind of expensive, guys. I just drove by a gas station. It said $4.89 for regular, and I need to fill up on gas, and I'm not having the greatest time thinking about the gas prices right now. Are there definitely more things that I could worry about? Yes, but at the same time, I should be worrying about gas prices because I drive a gas-consuming vehicle, and I'm driving right now to the gym, and have to drive anywhere and everywhere to get anywhere in the US. So I do have a right to be worried about that. I also realize I'm terrible at League of Legends now. It's still kind of fun though. And I realize I think the idea that I have fun with it is because I have fun playing with the people that I play with. So it's not even a gameplay thing anymore. I'm legitimately just having fun because it's the audience. Because I remember I had an issue long ago where my ex at the time was like, oh, like I have nobody to hang out with other than with you. And then I said, hey, how come you hang out with your friends? And they're like, oh, they only play Apex now, and I don't want to play Apex. And I'm like, can't you still go hang out with them though? They're like, no, it's not the same. And I was like, but then the more I realized, like, could I find a game miserable? Yes. But is it less miserable and honestly kind of fun if I play with a certain right amount of people or with a certain crowd? Yes. Do I love League of Legends? No. Would I play League of Legends alone? No. But I would always be willing to play League of Legends with a certain group of people. And every time they ask me to play or anytime I do play with them, it's a blast, man. It really just brings in the idea that some people are kind of just, they're just good people to be around. Yeah. Sorry, I had the idea that, you know, when like you just kind of get a warm feeling. I got that because I love my friends, man. I love my friends, and I would do anything for them. Well, depending, unless they ask me for $1 million, I do not have $1 million yet. But without further ado, let's go hit some legs. Woo!
many things I wish I didn't do, but I continue learning. I never meant to do those things to you, and so I have to say before I go that I just want you to know I found a reason for me to change who I used to be, a reason to start over new, and the reason is you. I'm sorry that I hurt you. It's something I must live with every day, and all the pain I put you through, I wish that I could take it all away and be the one who catches all your tears. That's why I need you to hear I found a reason for me to change who I used to be, a reason to start over new, and the reason is you, and the reason is you, and the reason is you, and the reason is you. I'm not a perfect person. I never meant to do those things to you, and so I have to say before I go that I just want you to know I found a reason for me to change who I used to be, a reason to start over new, and the reason is you. I found a reason to show a side of me you didn't know, a reason for all that I do, and the reason is you. Your morning eyes, I could stare like watching stars. I could walk you by an hotel without a thought. You'd be mine, would you mind if I took your hand tonight? No, you're all that I want.
Whew. Well, I've had quite the extended journey back home, and it's actually been about 20 minutes into the drive right now. I'm still 15 minutes away because apparently there's a decent chunk of traffic, and then right after I get back home, I have to shower quite fast. I might even not have time to poop. But then again, I was hoping to get this video edited off and then uploaded before I head out, but I also have to catch a movie at 5:30 with my good friend Jeff. We are watching Kimetsu no Yaiba. Actually, I don't actually know what the Japanese thing is. I'm watching Demon Slayer Infinity Castle something. Something Infinity Castle. Something Demon Slayer. I just caught up on the training season, the training arc, or whatever it's called. I almost fell asleep on the 6th. Actually, I did fall asleep on the 6th episode, and there's only 8 episodes in the season anyway. So I wasn't the biggest fan of that arc, but then I heard good things about this movie, and they had a re-release, and they're not really playing it after this week, I believe, so I really wanted to go at least go check it out. I was supposed to go watch it yesterday, but funny enough, the only evening showing that they had was an English dub, where I'm not like the biggest purist ever of going like, oh, it has to be subbed, it has to be the original dub or I will die. But you know, I watched it subbed, so I would prefer it, at least for continuity reasons, to at least watch it subbed as well, even for the movie. So we chose that. Again, nothing against the dub. If anything, nowadays, it seems the dubs are actually getting pretty darn good now. They're not like comically bad anymore. But I got that to look forward to. But then I also was just thinking about the idea of how do I feel right now? And I feel a little bit weird because I still think a lot about my ex. I still think about some big what ifs. I always think about these situations where I go like, you know, what could I have done better? Could I actually been a better partner? And it's a very weird feeling because it's like a weird mixture of you have your therapist, you've had your friends, you even have just people just constantly telling you, saying like, Andy, you've done nothing wrong. It just didn't work out. And if anything, you might be a victim, which I haven't even shared that much to my friends. But I spoke about it with my therapist yesterday, and he's like, Andy, like, you were a victim. And I was like, huh? Was I? But then now it almost feels kind of bad where I look back on situations where I thought wasn't that bad, and now I look back with a different lens and I'm thinking, oh my God, was it actually worse? Like, was it actually really bad and I just repressed those emotions because I didn't know how else to cope with them? I think that's literally like me trying to like release this pent up cringe energy that I have inside me. Because if anything, I don't want to have these thoughts anymore, but I still keep thinking about it. There are times where I just sit here alone in my car and my thoughts just run wild, and instead of thinking of fucking dinosaurs and me being a space cowboy or some cool ass shit, I'm thinking, oh, why did she leave me? Oh. Well, Demon Slayer tonight. Am I right, guys? Demon Slayer, Michael Jackson, Muzan Kibutsuji. Ooh, that's a I haven't seen a Staples car. I didn't even know Staples were still in business, actually. It's my turn to turn. Nobody go ahead of me. Also, since I've been following my GPS to go home today, it is taking me to a very alternative path where I have no idea where the fuck I am at the moment. Another thing that's been on my mind is I got an Instagram ad the other day that said there's going to be a Gothic market. And one thing I didn't realize is, you know, there's like this entire trend right now where guys are just like, ooh, I want a goth GF. Ooh, I want a goth GF and some stomper boots. Where did that come from? Because the thing is, I remember a while ago, maybe, would I even say like a decade ago, I feel like goths were kind of ostracized and people thought they were kind of weird because it's the same thing of like, oh, maybe it's like that. Because I remember like emo scene when it first was a thing where people were like, oh, look at those weirdos over there. Look at those cringeos. And then all of a sudden it became it became, you know, hip. Sorry, I drove by a house with the weirdest gate structure I think I've ever seen. That was odd, but. And now again, I'm getting recommended to go to the Gothic market. So guess who's Actually, I'm probably not going to go to the Gothic market. I am curious though. Not to go search for women and be like, hey, who wants a quirky Asian BF? I love K-pop. Which again, too, I feel like, you know, I don't really know. Because in the root of Gothics, or Goths, actually, I don't even know what to fucking call them at this point. Like, don't they usually listen to, like, heavy metal, rock, alternative music? Because I generally kind of don't know what kind of music goth people listen to. Because you know why? I don't really know any goth people, or I don't really know anybody that like strictly labels them as goth. And even then, like, is there, like, there should be like a borderline though. Like, are you goth because you just like clothing that's black, or are you goth because you live the lifestyle? But I don't know what the lifestyle is. Is the lifestyle just liking black clothing, and what else is there? White makeup, very heavy eyeliner. I don't know actually. Because if you're a male goth, what does that entail? You still just wear a lot of black? I mean, I wear a lot of black, but it doesn't look like I'm gothic. Isn't gothic like a Germanic term too for like a time period? Again, I don't really know about anything. And I think that's the beauty of it all. I don't fucking know anything. Which means I can always be learning. Remember like a while ago, I was actually learning Spanish. I was not consistent of that. I only did that for like 4 days. But those 4 days, I learned quite a bit though. So I'm going to try and muster up the strength to do that again. Because I am fascinated by language. And I think learning another language would be quite beneficial for me. Just to keep my brain busy a little bit. It's also inconvenient to some extent that my ex is Latina. So me learning Spanish might get reminded of her. But she didn't even fucking speak Spanish. So it's time for me to be one up though. Actually, I should stop talking about her. I should stop comparing myself to her. I should stop even bringing up any situation pertaining back to her. Ow! Oh my god. I had a good leg day today, though. I had a good leg day. I also believe the remainder of this day should be pretty darn good as well. It also started snowing a little bit earlier, but only lasted for like 10 seconds. I'm not even doing it. It snowed for 10 seconds, and then it stopped. I am running really low on time, so I think I'm gonna call it a day on there, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.